Hello everybody, Kanisha the Creator here, and I am going to be reacting to Negative Legend, whatever happened to Lego Ninjago.
Meet Grammarly Go, your go-to solution for getting quality work done quickly.
Did you guys ever realize that Legos are just model kits for kids? Anyway,
yes.
Lego Ninjago! It's the same setup as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Legos. When I first saw Ninjago, I thought it was really stupid. I mean, ninjas that can do a crash bazooka? I wasn't on board. This series got 15 seasons and a theatrical movie release. I needed to understand why you guys like the Living Dreidel show. Apparently, there's a lot of people that thought Ninjago ended after 2 seasons. It literally never stopped. I asked you guys on Twitter what I should include in this video. Prince said the show originally was supposed to end after seasons 2 or 3, but was so popular it continued. So if you're making a video, then I suggest containing it between those first few seasons. And also because I want to get Lego sets. I'm already trying to reconnect with my appreciation for Star Wars, and I got those Lego sets. What blew my mind is that I thought Legends of Chima came out before Ninjago in 2011, while Chima actually came out in 2013, and it flopped super bad. It was supposed to take over Ninjaga, and that didn't happen. You may remember Lego Ninja from 1998. After this was discontinued, the Lego company wanted to revive the ninja theme, but knew that they needed to adapt on how they would appeal to kids. And so they thought, what if ninjas, but fantasy? They got a bunch of kids and showed them the general concept sketches in order to narrow down what kids liked during the 2010s. They showed them underwater cities, future cities, and fantasy ninjas, and the kids were far more drawn to fantasy ninjas than anything else, finalizing their decision. But you guys already had Lego Atlantis, why would you try doubling down on underwater cities? When creating a new series, the designers were experimenting with basically any and every idea they could. They even went in the direction of biker gangs and magical Vikings, which kids didn't really connect with, as you'd expect. But at least with later seasons, the futuristic ideas come to light. It's clear that after they got the kids in with the feudal Japan ninja idea, they were able to go off on their own ideas with future cities and that sort of thing. I always thought Ninjago was Ninja Go, but turns out it's a portmanteau of ninja and a Lego, and that makes it slightly less cool. Lego Ninjago is the Lego company's highest grossing original Lego series. It has made them more money than Bionicle, and we all know how insanely popular that was. Year after year, Ninjago regularly makes the list of the most popular Lego series of that year. Now, it's not the highest grossing Lego series, that belongs to Lego City, Lego Friends, Star Wars, and Ninjago is tied for 4th with Lego Technic. But still, the popularity of Ninjago is hard to deny. Ninjago initially released as this spinners game that I always thought it was them trying to rip off Beyblade. They wanted to make the minifigures come to life and wanted to incorporate the idea of a throwing star into the game, thus the spinning. Obviously, this game is no longer developed now.
There was these special cards. They had like a little star at the bottom right. Some were 3D, some were shiny. You get them through promotions. I've just been collecting them because I found some really rare cards that only ended up in certain countries for promotions. Hardly people know about special edition Ninjago cards. Some are based on the normal standard cards. Some are based on 3D versions of the characterized cards.
As of today, there is nearly 500 Ninjago sets created. There's plenty of books for Ninjago because Scholastic is eternal, Scholastic is omnipresent, you cannot escape Scholastic publishing. And you have the chapter books, the comic books, the Tale of Two Brothers, the Book of Spinjitzu, Pythor's Revenge, and a massive cacophony of books. There is more Ninjago books than there is Warriors books. They are pumping these things out. Tommy Andresen, the co-creator of Ninjago and the writer of the original mini-movies, his Twitter is the source of a lot of information either on what's happening behind the scenes or explaining questions of the canon of the show. He's notorious not only for being the bridge between the writers and the design team, but also for engaging with the community so fervently.
It started 4 years ago when I was returning home from Comic-Con. Some teenagers started asking me questions about the show. We were making a show for kids, but at that point I realized that Ninjago had been around long enough for some of these kids to have grown up and still love it. I thought that was interesting, so I started the Twitter profile as an experiment to see if there was any interest to engage. I've been doing it ever since. Ninjago has a tightly woven canon and logic, and the longtime fans are eagle-eyed and will nail us if we contradict anything. Besides, I can't think of another show which can boast 10 years of uninterrupted continuity, a consistent style and voice cast. It's one of the great joys of producing the show year after year.
However, it's the Hageman brothers that are the main writers for the show, and they worked on other movies and shows like Hotel Transylvania and Troll Hunters. They mention they usually strive for a tone similar to Disney's The Incredibles, and have had to butt heads with Tommy Andresen on multiple occasions. They are no longer the current writers for the show, but had written the shows for about 10 years, having written seasons 1 through 9, except for season 7. I think it's time I dive into the show.
But at least they did most of the season.
I'm an Avenger. Everywhere I go, people ask me the same thing. Can you take a picture with my dog?
This is Kai, a blacksmith, and this is Master Wu, who's apparently scouting around for recruits. I guess this isn't really feudal Japan, since the Bone Boys are riding motorized vehicles and they're hunting down some map. The old man comes and saves the day, don't worry, but Nia was kidnapped. So now we have Kai's motivation to learn Spinjitzu and fight the Bone Boys. Apparently they're from the underworld, so mortals can't just go there, and Wu starts doing a whole flashback about the 4 golden weapons of Spinjitzu, and apparently the older brother was a Spinjitzu disciple and that wanted power, and the map leads to the weapons. Wu is the brother that won against the evil underworld guy. When I first saw this, I thought it was really weird how all the bad guys had vehicles in what looks like a time period where that shouldn't be possible, but there's actually a cool explanation as to why that is.
But we ended up with the skeletons. When we figured out a ninja versus a skeleton is a very intriguing thing for a kid. It made sense to the kids when we asked them that this skeleton guy, who's the bad guy and he's the adversary to the ninja, he can have a monster truck which looks like a skeleton. That made perfectly sense for the kids, which was great, because that really liberated us to the point where we could then say, okay, but then we can have ninjas on dragons, and now it starts to become this whole fantasy thing, and now it also starts to become a building toy.
Kids literally said, yeah, that makes sense, and now there's motorcycles. Talk about knowing your audience. And there is a whole 3-hour documentary on their channel about Ninjago. So you should go check that video out if you really want a deep dive into Ninjago.
Only when you become a Spinjitzu master will you be able to face Lord Garmadon.
I understand the weapons are magical, and that's what gives them their power, but gold is a terrible material for weapons.
Complete the training course before I finish my team, then we will see if you are ready.
Okay, Kai, step 1. Get Wu a bigger cup. Training montage! This is actually a good way to show off his character. The challenge isn't the training course, it's Wu drinking tea, and so he attacked the problem head on. How long did it take Kai to finish that training course? Because Wu did not lift a finger to help him. He just had to figure it out on his own. Kinda bogus if you ask me. Kai gets ambushed by the jealous students of Master Wu and start arguing that adding a 4th one is stupid since they already work so good as a team, and Wu says, yo, this is the fire guy. There's a fire weapon. We need the fire guy. And they have a whole Power Rangers moment where he tells them their powers.
Spinjitzu is inside each and every one of you, but it will only be unlocked when the key is ready to be found.
That just sounds to me like you don't know how to teach them. Are you really a Spinjitzu master, or are you just making all this up to get the kids to do your dirty work? They get the map to the golden weapons back, all ninja style. Kai is always going off solo because teamwork is hard, and so we're gonna need to go through the motions of team building and stuff. They find one weapon, and Bluebird J unlocks his inner eye and figures out Spinjitzu. Then Kai, and then the rest, they all just kind of figure it out, so all the intense hype from Wu was quickly delivered. Master Wu gets upset with Kai for using the golden scythe to win against the bad guys, which, like, why not use it? And Wu is just all like, oh, you think you're better than the team? No! He was just trying to protect everyone. Why would you not use the super powerful weapon? If the concern is Kai thinks he's better than the other parts of the team, then just pass it around. Just let someone else use it. You know? Let someone else be the hero. This is what I hate about the wise old man trope. They are always cryptic. And when we discover their wisdom, it's something that could definitely have just been told to everyone. And Sensei Wu is slowly going down that hole. I may end up disliking Wu if this goes on.
The most powerful move in Spin Jitsu can only be accomplished when all 4 elements are combined. The power to create something out of nothing.
I heard some guy named Edward tried something similar, and it didn't go well for him and his brother. Oh man, it's Garmadon! I'm so surprised. And he wants the ninjas to get the golden weapons, and even uses Nia as bait to make him. The question is, why does he want them to have the weapons? I mean, he is trapped in the underworld. I'm guessing he wants them to bring the weapons to him and do all the dirty work for him.
You know what, that makes sense.
Am I being too hard?
The other gold weapons get stolen, so Wu decides to go straight to the underworld with the sword so that they can have at least one weapon to fight Garmadon, which, fair idea. Their plan for getting to the underworld is to ride a freaking dragon. This isn't really important, but it's really cool, and credit where it's due. I didn't think I'd go, whoa, in a silly Lego show. And through the power of teamwork, they do the Tornado of Creation, which is apparently some ultimate move that needs the 4 elements, yada yada yada. We all kind of saw it coming. Oh, and it also just creates stuff. Not sure if they have control over what that part yet, but while I'm here, this show makes sure to have regular intervals of that classic Lego-styled humor. Lots of slapstick here and there, or just some casual jokes between characters. And it doesn't break the pacing of the story. I'm glad to see they didn't skimp out on the humor. They get the 4 weapons. Apparently no one can handle all 4 weapons at once, and so the Bone Dude dies, and the portal through space and time opens, so Garmadon wins.
I will be strong enough to possess the 4 weapons, so I may recreate the world in my image!
Oh, so it's just Aku from Samurai Jack? Are you going back in time? Hey, at least they get to keep the gold weapons, that's neat. And then there's a bunch of shorts that don't really contribute to the overall narrative. I mean, it's kind of fun. Just, you know, rounding out some stuff about the ninjas' relationship, or explaining how Garmadon took control of the underworld. It's fun, but it's not important. So let's just get on with the actual show. But also, what parent names their kids Wu and Garmadon? Wait, is Garmadon the last name? Is Sensei Wu technically Sensei Wu Garmadon? How does this work? What's Garmadon's first name? Now we get the actual TV show, complete with an intro song that explains what happened on the mini-movies. Nya? That's how they spell it? Oh, man, my weeb brain isn't going to unsee this.
It is I, Lloyd Garmadon!
Lloyd Garmadon? I thought we were gonna face Lord Garmadon.
Apparently they find a scroll that talks about a prophecy where one of them will rise above them all and become the Green Ninja. Like the Power Rangers. Oh my god, it's gonna be Lloyd, isn't it? This is gonna play out like Zuko, where the enemy joins the good guys. I'm surprised how much Power Ranger vibes I'm getting from this show. Lloyd literally has a 5 on his shirt because he's gonna be the 5th member. They aren't even trying to hide it. And it's a green 5. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, what? How'd you get them back? One of them should be encased in ice. New bad guys are snake people that apparently Lloyd controls, but there's obviously a coup that's coming, so we just gotta wait.
Yet you instruct your army to make this playhouse for Lloyd? Snakes don't belong in trees.
Yes, they do. Lots of snakes hang around in trees. Pretty weak argument. Snake people burn down their home. Classic kung fu trope. Love to see it. They all blame Zane because he's the only one on the spectrum, and it's kind of messed up, to be honest. Ugh. Neurotypicals. Lloyd steals some map from the snake people. They realize they're jerks, and Zane is too chill to be offended, and he finds them a replacement home. That was fast. I was hoping this would be a whole little arc. Also, there's an important flute that helps fight against the snake people, which they set up as if it's important when it really isn't. Frankly, the show thus far is fun. It's nothing incredible, but it's a good show to turn off your brain to. However, it is clear that it looks like they're setting stuff up to build up into something bigger. It's just not very engaging in the very beginning, since they're still kind of beating around the bush, establishing the characters and their background and their parents and blah 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 blah. And Wu just having magic artifacts makes sense, but it's not very engaging. Would have been cooler if they had to go find it like they did with the gold weapons. MacGuffins are always pretty neat if they're done well. Also, their weapons are vehicles. They're leaning hard with the magic. This is literally just the Power Rangers but ninjas, I swear. They have dragons, dang it. Why do they need vehicles? Oh, wait, so they can sell more Lego sets. What am I thinking? This show is to sell toys. Lloyd is literally just running around awakening all the species of serpentine, making everything worse, all because he's trying to fix his problem by unleashing other problems. So we got armies of snake people.
Guardians is the best Marvel movie since Endgame. Awesome! And now it's the #1 movie in the galaxy.
But since Lloyd is an idiot, the snake person takes the snake map and disappears. And then they capture Lloyd, and instead of punishing him, Wu starts just raising him. Which, that's so sweet. That's such a smart idea. He's only acting out because he doesn't have a dad. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Sensei Wu is good in my book. You know, I don't know why I'm expecting this show to be some sort of amazing narrative with intense lore. I know people keep telling me that's what it is, but so far this show is just fun, and I keep sitting here, waiting to be impressed. And I keep forgetting to just enjoy myself. It's Lego, for goodness sakes. Let me just reframe my mind so I can be pleasantly surprised at the end. I feel like I'm being a little too negative. Let's take a short break to look at Legos. My partner and I went to Seattle in order to check out the Lego store. I've never actually been to a Lego store, and I had friends in Seattle, so everything lined up perfectly. We went to the Bellevue Mall, where we saw giant Lego bricks and awesome models on display. When did they start making Avatar sets?
Can we get a rabbit for the New Year's rabbit?
What?
It's Year of the Rabbit.
The Uber was $50 just here itself, but we can buy like one Lego set and boom, we'll get it. This is awesome.
It's $400.
It's $400. I don't get. It's still awesome. What? Does it come with a limited edition Golden Woo? Oh dang! Does she get a new mech?
You'll have to watch and find out.
I never noticed. It's been in his room this entire time, and then I started watching Ninjago, and I'm like, wait a minute! I know that mech suit. I've seen it 1,000 times. This is what I mean when the Ninjago sets are like so unique. This is so freaking cool. Look at all this. I asked if they had any Lego Chima, but they said sadly no. There we got to make our own little custom minifigs.
You, me, and our son.
Child. Not only that, but they had this AR generator where you can put any Lego box in front of the camera and it will create the Lego set fully built so that you can judge how much you want it and how big it is, and it's really smart and really cool. All in all, it was really fun. We also checked out a bunch of other areas in Seattle, only for me to come back home and realize there is a Lego store where I live. So I feel dumb, but it was still fun. The price of Legos is the reason why kids are becoming anti-capitalist. But consumerism is good for the soul! Okay, one more prophecy, but this time it's for the bad guys. When the snake tribes unite, they find special fang blades and unleash a great, terrible, bad evil. You know how it goes.
Wrap your head around this!
Man, this would be resolved way faster if the show was just rated R. Did you guys ever realize how direct and obvious their names are? Kai for Akai, the Japanese word for the color red. Jay, like a blue jay. Cole, like that thing naughty kids get for Christmas.
Santa?
Zane for... I actually don't know what Zane's name is supposed to mean. Side note, if you Google translate the color red, it'll say akka, but that's the noun version. When you use it as an adjective to describe something, you add an I or E at the end. I've had weebs in my comments section pretend like they know Japanese. And for someone who actually learned Japanese in college, really annoying. Oh, thank goodness. A fashion upgrade. Their original suits were boring. I hate to say it, but it was bad. This is so good, it should be on Project Runway. It's such an improvement. Pythor is like the Loki character, where he rigs a fight and seats himself as Master of the Serpentine, like an emperor. Also, Lloyd is there being an idiot. You know, now that I think about it, I really shouldn't be surprised that LEGO went with ninjas to be their go-to show. We had TMNT and Naruto. They were really popular during that time. Both of those are ninjas, and Power Rangers have aspects of kung fu movies. So, I mean, like, it's just using what was already popular to their advantage. What's great is that they didn't forget about Nia, and they don't make her like Sakura, where she's a boring character. She actually decides to go off on her own and prove to them that she's a capable of helping them. I was concerned they just throw Nia under the bus because she's a girl, and it makes me so happy to see they're actually doing something with her character. Don't worry, they didn't forget about Garmadon. Apparently the big ancient evil snake bit him, and that's why he's a bad guy, not because of some conflicting ideals, just a corruption bite. Nom nom nom, you're a bad guy now. Honestly, that's disappointing. I was hoping for a cool Star Wars Jedi versus Sith sort of thing. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's still a show for kids. I'm just happy they're connecting the current conflict with the previous conflict. Makes things flow together smoother. You want to know why Zane doesn't have any parents? Apparently he's a robot, and it's driving him insane. That's why he's named Zane. Okay, no, I still don't have any idea why he's named Zane. But neat twist, though. Wait. Are the writers comparing people on the spectrum to robots? That sounds like a discussion that I'm not knowledgeable enough to defend, so I'll just point it out and move on. It could just be that I just superimposed the idea that Zane is on the spectrum because it just made sense for his character, and this is just a me thing. I don't know, maybe I'm the bad guy. Whatever, discuss in the comments. Zane gets flashbacks of his memory of his father/creator and how Zane was created to protect people, and he literally watches his father die of old age, and as a mercy, he turns off Zane's memories before he passes away, and just, oh my god, that was so... I didn't expect something like this from the show. Are we getting to the point now where everyone says the show is really good? Because if we get more of this, I can see myself becoming a fan. Then he unlocks his true potential. They just keep adding more and more powers for these ninjas, I swear. It's always something with these guys. At a certain point, they'll be strong enough to face Goku. Wu decides to woohoo his way to Garmadon. Not sure why, he's going solo for a second. Jang and Nia are sorta dating, but to be honest, I really don't care. Good for them, but I'm here for the butt-kicking and bad jokes.
I didn't come to stop you. I came to warn you. Your son's in danger.
I forgot Lloyd is still prisoner to the Serpentine. They eventually all unleash their true potential because plot. But also it helps flesh them out. Better to have their powers come from inner strength rather than some weapon. Makes for better characters. You know, I feel like it's weird that they have family, except for Zane, but you know, whatever. I'm used to ninjas having dark and tragic backstories, and seeing them be healthy is strange, especially how they can switch into plain clothes, but plain clothes are modern. It's like an alternate history where no one abandoned the look of feudal Japan, but it still progressed in technology. I love this setting, to be honest, but my brain is short-circuiting, trying to adjust how it is. How many people watch this and went to Naruto and seeing how mature it is compared to Ninjago? I think the point I'm making is that LEGO made this show because ninjas were popular, but it doesn't have a lot of aspects of ninja stories or kung fu or Ronin stories. It's just their own fantasy setting, but it has ninjas in it. Garmadon and Wu come back from the who knows where, so now Garmadon is back and ready to kick butt and take his son back. Is familial relations going to play a heavy role later in this show, and that's why they're introducing everyone's families? I love how Cole unlocking his true potential is just getting close.
Hello anyway guys, this is the first part of my reaction. I'll show you the second